Hello and welcome to another episode of the Irish Punts. Here in our live stream, souling you through the hurt and joy that is fantasy football for another week. For me, it was mostly joy this week. I don't know about you two.
For once, it was joy, guys. I got my bit of luck on Monday Night Football. Absolutely delighted. I actually couldn't believe it. I'm now 2-8. Yes.
No, bad week for me, Henry.
Henry destroyed you.
Sorry. I thought you were trying to say something to Jamie there. I just had a question.
Just Henry. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you
Henry
need to
let
say.
me down. And Zach Ertz's injury really killed me. I would have won only for those two plays. I think even if Zach Ertz hadn't got injured and he'd had his regular kind of week that he has, I would have won that game. Just would have won it. But if Henry had showed up at all, it should have been done doors by that stage. Like,
it's getting colder in the world as well. Henry should be getting better as the season goes on. But it was
that's the hope.
Well, any other crack of the two of you? Didn't go see any films or anything the weekend? You just went full on football all weekend, was it?
Full on football, that was about it, yeah.
No, I had a anniversary this weekend, so I had to brought herself out for a bit of dinner and we went for a few drinks.
Wine and dine the missus. I like it.
Yeah, 10 years together this year.
Do we have a drop for that?
It should probably be mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah. What's she still doing with this guy?
We can move nicely into heroes and zeros from that, I guess.
Yeah. Move on fast.
Am I the hero? Am I?
Sure. Why not?
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Nobody say anything negative now as we do this.
Fine work, my boy. You've done it. You're a true hero.
Feels better when Zeus is saying that to me.
We'll start as we always do with the quarterback position, and number one on the quarterback list. We had a bit of a discussion about all week.
Here we go.
I was trying to decide on the celebratory music, and this was one of my favorites, but I ended up going with a different one in the end. But I wanted to give the listeners in the stream and on the podcast, a feel for our group chat.
I like it.
That's not what I ended up going with, though. I didn't tell you two what I actually went with in the end. So I actually went with.
No. You would not ruin one of our greatest national songs by tying it to Justin Fields. Go fuck yourself.
But it's on brand. It has Irish in it. It has his name in it.
Yeah, we should even change the brand of this podcast to 2 Irish punts and an English cunt.
It's actually quite good.
Yeah, I know.
That one in the chamber for a while.
Yeah.
I literally just thought of it. My anger inspired me.
I just quite like that.
Anyway,
we voted it through 2 against 1. That's the name of the podcast from now on.
Unofficially,
If anyone didn't guess from the preamble there, Justin Fields is the number one quarterback on the week. My bold prediction didn't make it though because he didn't hit the 45 fantasy points. That was another argument we had in the group chat. Is what's a bold prediction for Justin Fields' fantasy output?
Well,
I
feel
didn't really thought it was
justified.
40. I thought the
No,
bold prediction was 40, to be fair.
No,
But like,
45.
yeah, we decided on 45 in the end. But yeah,
I felt justified with that as well with the score that he got because like they were playing the worst defense in the NFL. He had got 38 points the week before, and Dan comes back and is like, I think it's a bold prediction if he gets 40. I'm like, man got 38 last week against a team that really that bad. You want to say 40 is bold against the worst defense in the league?
Atlanta this week.
Yeah. He probably get 50 against those fucking useless gits.
Patrick Mahomes had a big week. Tua had a nice enough week as well. Well, Patrick Mahomes and Justin Fields had the biggest weeks. And then Tua, Hurts, Matt Ryan, Josh Allen kind of had decent weeks. And then Dak and Trevor Lawrence as well.
Aaron Rodgers came back a bit there as well.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. That's all on Christian Watson, though, who will probably be a hero on the wide receivers because like, he saved his arse.
Oh yeah, like he definitely is. But like are you trusting him? Are you picking him up and playing him as a number one? No.
Yes.
Because you're a number one.
Yes, I am.
the 2-8 teams.
Predict my pickup for tomorrow morning off the waivers.
Jonathan Taylor's back at the running back position. Thank God I didn't trade him last week.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, Joe, you give the ball to the man and he actually does something. It's almost like we never knew this could happen. Like, you know, it's amazing.
Saturday's a genius on a Sunday.
Yeah. I'd say Frank Reich was looking at that and going, I am never getting a job again.
Was that what I was supposed to do? Just give the ball to Taylor?
He must have just been looking at that going, man, I suck.
I'd say he's super pissed off though. Like he was made to play Ellinger, and then the owner backed down for fucking Saturday and let him play Matt Ryan.
Yeah, that's because Saturday is his buddy. He just came in. He was like, "Here, this fella's ass, man. We need to go back to Matt Ryan."
Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, big weeks. Dalvin Cook and James Conner as well. James Conner back up 2 touchdowns.
After I traded him.
Fantasy football is a cruel mistress. Jeff Wilson had a big week as well. He's come on nicely there, but we'll move on to the receivers. CeeDee Lamb, big boy time. Is that the Green Bay defense, or is that CeeDee Lamb just being an animal?
He looked good. No, he genuinely looked good that game, but I suppose saying that as well, the Green Bay defense can be a bit sucky at the best of times. But no, I'd say that's all Lamb.
Yeah, I would have said the Cowboys struggled to move the ball to anyone else other than Lamb. Lamb was the only one getting open, so Green Bay did a good job keeping Dallas fairly quiet. Bar CD going off for 150 yards. He was the only light for Dallas.
Christian Watson, as mentioned earlier, he had a big boy game. Do you want to touch on him a bit more, or are we happy enough to say he's number one in your waivers, Jamie?
He's definitely number one in your waivers. So, like, he's now gained Rodgers' trust. Like, you just got to pick him up this week. Even if he's just sitting your bench, then you just got to pick him up.
No, I think he reverts back to being absolutely useless again. He finally had a game where he could catch a ball. But that was the difference.
But this is the only game this year he hasn't been injured. This is the first healthy game he's had, and he's just exploded.
He dropped balls for fun any other time he played.
But he's been injured all year. He's been injured all year. This is what I'm saying. This is the only healthy time he was in that game. Was this game.
Still would not be trusting that man at all. Like, he just drops too many balls. That is not going to change just because his leg is now healthy. There was nothing wrong with his arms. He is dropping balls.
Rookies get better as the year goes on. Like, I'm not saying play him, but like you gotta pick him up. If he was on your waivers, I'd pick him up.
Pick him up, but I would not be banking on him to play in my team. If I could play without him, I'd be playing without him.
No, I wouldn't be banking on him getting a 30-point game every week. Like, that's not.
I wouldn't even be banking on him getting a 10-point game next week.
No, Like, because Green Bay will revert back. So,
I'm gonna fly through the rest of this list now, and we'll come back to one man's name right after it. Justin Jefferson, Christian Kirk,
Good.
Westbrook, the guy from Tennessee. What the fuck? Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis with a big boy week, and then Amon-Ra St. Brown. Then Paris Campbell is now number 1 in Indianapolis, apparently. But let's go back to Justin Jefferson and his monstrous game.
incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Insane.
Yeah. Like, there's not a whole lot you can say about him. Like, that near one-handed catch and coverage, like, that literally win him the game was just, like, there's no words. It's just spectacular. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, like all that kicked out to me in that whole game was like it was such a good game the whole way through, but then at the very end, I just thought to myself, like, the Jets and now Minnesota. Now Minnesota are a good team, but are Buffalo blowing up just a little bit here? Like, are we looking at a team that has the caliber to be Super Bowl champions just imploding? They're like, oh, we're too good. And the next thing you're like, oh, we've lost 3 games. It's like suddenly things aren't going so well. You're not the number 1 seed anymore. Like,
Kansas City really snuck back in as that, didn't they?
Yeah, and you can say the Bills lost those 3 games all because of mistakes.
Yeah,
You know?
like that's it.
Yeah.
Like that's the mental thing about it. Like, Justin Jefferson was brilliant, not to take away from how good he was, but like he doesn't have that kind of a stat line without the Bills fucking up. Like, they made such a big mistake, like that. Justin Jefferson now is a guy we're looking at in the top 3 of receivers this week, when realistically, without the overtime and everything, he was probably down 9-10 this week. Like, he just caught some balls for them. Like,
tight end heroes, Cole Kmet is coming back from the graveyard. Really Undertaker stuff. Travis Kelce, Dalton Schultz, Johnson from the Saints, Foster Moreau stepping in nicely there for Darren Waller, and Tyler Higbee because he played the Cardinals. Like, this week it's Kittle, so you can't stream the tight end against the Cardinals. But look for the Seahawks. See, can you get someone there? Jamie, do you want to do the kicker?
The kicker. Oh, this week's kicker of the week is Joey Sly of the Commanders. Well done, Joey. Big boy game. Big boy game.
You kind of sounded like you were just going through the list of kickers there, quickly trying to pick any random kicker. You did okay.
Well, my boy is back there again. He was number 4 of the week. Man, Dicker. My boy, Dicker.
You like to spin around your love at the kicker position, though.
he just said, my boy, Dicker. Nobody got it.
You got it.
Oh, that was bad.
Loss of limb will not excuse you.
On to the zeros of the week. We'll start at the quarterback position, as is customary. I didn't see many people actually get killed by quarterbacks this week, because I think like no one was playing them. Maybe Geno Smith might have hurt a couple of people, but he didn't even do badly. Did anyone play any real bad quarterbacks this week, really?
I don't think so. Not unless you had like PJ Walker, Andy Dalton, those kind of guys.
Yeah, I could say Harvard, I suppose. Like, you do only 13 points. You expect him to do higher than that. Like, Wilson being Wilson. But yeah, other than that, didn't really kill you. Like,
yeah, there was nothing too bad there, unless you were dipping into the Heineke's and the Goffs of the world. But even Goff was serviceable. Wasn't the worst thing in the world.
No,
yeah, I streamed him this week to cover Murray, like, and he was fine.
Okay, you would you hold Goff this week now, coming again after, because Kyler's on his bye week this week, isn't he?
No, it's 2 weeks.
Oh, it's 2 weeks. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, hold on to man, yeah, because there's no one fight out there. Like,
may as well. Oh, running back stinkers on the week. Like, we're not really saying Henderson's a stinker anymore. Austin Eckler, he kind of hurt you a little bit. Najee.
Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, Cordero was pretty bad. Derrick Henry didn't help you too much, like you said
No.
earlier. Alvin
Uh,
Kamara, that was nasty.
Yeah, Miles Sanders, another one that would have hurt.
Yeah, it was a bit crap with the old running backs. Kareem Hunt, like you're kind of just accepting that at this stage.
Kareem Hunt could be a good pickup next year when he's on a different team and isn't the backup to Nick Chubb. Like that's where we're at with Kareem Hunt.
Wide receivers. Who sucked in the wide receiver zones? DK didn't kill you, but he didn't really do you the favors you want.
I'd say, look, DK is my wide receiver too, but I'd say if you're getting 10 points out of a guy like DK and that, you're doing all right.
Mike Evans, 8 points. Brandon
Yeah.
Cooks, I don't know. Deebo Samuel, this one probably hurt a little bit.
Funny you bring that one up, Dan.
Who'd I put him off?
I don't know, Dan. Who did? Like you traded me 2 guys, and like one of them wouldn't play, and this guy sucked balls. It's a one, this was, but yeah, he hurt you. Pittman continues to hurt everyone at this point.
Olave.
Mooney, probably a guy. No, it's good. Mooney was probably a guy a lot of people picked up last week. He probably hurt you a bit.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper was on the road.
He was always going to tank. So
Did you see Juju's hit the concussion? It was nasty enough, wasn't it?
No, I missed that.
Oh yeah, he got laid out, and that was the end of his day. It was it looked like it was heavy enough that he might miss this week as well with injury.
Yeah. I suppose the guy we missed on the Euros is probably Tony, because Tony did quite well this week. He was just he was just outside top 10. Tony's a guy now to kind of keep an eye out for.
Yeah, Tony could be decent, all right. Tight end stinkers. It just pretty much is just Kyle Pitts every week, isn't it?
At this point, it is, yeah. I picked him up in another league, and I'm like badly regretting that now, because you're in that kind of situation where you can't really drop him because he's just going to explode.
You're killing you every week.
You just kind of have to stick with him now, and you're like, oh, fuck.
It's just loading the gun and shooting yourself.
It kind of is at this point, yeah.
George Kittle also was no passing touchdowns for San Francisco. Like that just didn't help you.
No, not really.
Greg Dulcich, he kind of hurt you as well. 1.6 in Germany.
Yeah, and a lot of people have picked him up this week.
Yeah, he's solid. Like it just didn't really work. And then Taysom Hill,
Shane's favorite, Will Disley, sucks.
Will Disley. I think you were playing Will Disley. You're kind of you're well prepared for the pain that could follow easily.
Yeah, a couple of sucky weeks, like.
We'll move on to the preview then. We're going through it nice and quickly this week.
Avengers! Assemble.
If you're following along on the live streams, don't forget to throw in your questions into the comment section on YouTube, and we'll come through the questions as we are doing the matchups. So we'll keep on track here, and we have Tennessee at Green Bay. Green Bay's resurgent season comes to a matchup with Tennessee, so it'll be interesting to see if they can put it back to back here, Jamie.
This is where we get back on track, lads. This is where we're back on track. No, I firmly don't believe that yet. Until we start putting games back to back. But I suppose, as we kind of said in the wide receiver heroes, like Watson's your probably pick up of the week here. Probably not a guy you start unless you kind of need to. Like if I pick him up now, to be honest, I would start him instead of Pittman. Still just kind of sick of Pittman at this point.
Yeah, Pittman has deep burns at this stage. You're just done with it now.
Yeah, Joe, like he's burned you way too many times at this point. Joe, like he's not even a guy at this point you could probably trade away, but if we can get to that when we get to the Colts. But like
Tennessee is very bad against wide receivers as well. They're the 30th worst against wide receivers, so they can be passed on quite easily.
Yeah, you kind of hope, like it's in Green Bay. Joe Rogers probably has a little bit more faith in his receivers now. If Watson can stay healthy, Lazard didn't really get in the game the last time. Like, but if he's got two guys to start throwing with that, like they're definitely two guys you can definitely start playing. I think this week they're definitely streamable, those two lads and Aaron Jones.
You can probably pivot to Aaron Rodgers as well if he's sitting on your bench anywhere and you're without the likes of who's on bye this week. Like you could be without Joe Burrow. No, Joe Burrow was last, wasn't he, for the bye? Trevor Lawrence, maybe you were using him at quarterback. You could switch to Aaron Rodgers if he's sitting there.
Yeah, definitely pick up this week. Like you would expect them to do well against the Titans, especially coming off the win now. There's surely a bit of confidence in that team, but I suppose that's when this kind of starts disappointing you.
Exactly. The running backs, Derrick Henry and Aaron Jones are auto starts, and then is AJ Dillon making his way back into flex consideration for you at all?
No, I don't think so. I think all AJ Dillon at this point is doing is just kind of sucking the life out of Jones. And if you're an Aaron Jones owner, like I am, like you're just kind of sick of seeing him because Jones could do that backfield by himself very easily. And Jones does quite well for having someone sucking the life out of him. So
yeah, I agree. Imagine we got just Aaron Jones in the backfield. How delightful that could possibly be.
Oh, so he's still a top 10 running back, and you got Dillon taking nearly half the snaps at this point. Like,
I think I'm done with Robert Tonyan at this stage. I don't think I'm prescribing that to anyone anymore. You're back. You can talk about Bob Tonyan there. I say I'm out on Bob Tonyan and never going back.
Yeah, Bob Tunion's ass.
Killer
fair enough. Very top class.
We're not lying to each other here, are we? Yeah.
No.
Early slate on Sunday.
In fairness, he hasn't been an option, has he? Like Rodgers doesn't seem to be going to him at all.
Yeah, stay far away from him. Sunday, early slate. Chicago at Atlanta. Justin Fields set to eat again. So we're gonna there's no point really discussing Fields. We've gone through him enough. You're just auto playing him here. Mariota. You could do worse, but I wouldn't. I would go there.
Could be streamable for the week that's in it. If you're stuck, but I'd say there are probably better options.
Yeah, I feel like you could even play Heineke over Mariota. You probably shouldn't, but you could do that. Heineke at Houston.
You'd be wrong doing that, but you could do it.
It's just hard to put Mariota into a starting lineup.
Yeah, it's hard. Yeah. It's even harder to put in Heineke.
Yeah, I would go Mariota over Heineke, but if that's your option, you're kind of fucked anyway, really, aren't you?
Yeah. What a great week for quarterbacks.
No.
You're not going to play Carr against Denver. Goff against the Giants is probably your best shout. Everything else is horrible. You're not going to play Matt Ryan against Philadelphia.
Would you throw Russ in against the Raiders?
That's hard as well.
Yeah. Well, would you take Russ over Mariota or over Goff or over who else did you say? You said Heineke, yeah, that guy. Would you take him over any of them guys?
I think I'd probably play Mariota over a lot of those guys.
Yeah, I think I'd take Mariota.
Yeah, at this moment in time, I think I would actually agree and take Mariota over those guys.
What a world we live in.
Yeah, that's awful. Can they? Is it can they just be eliminated already so we can just get the backup who they drafted this year to come in and play? It might be a little bit more interesting.
Oh God, David Montgomery. He should see an uptick with Herbert day to day. Is Herbert day to day still, or is he gone for longer now? I'm not
Not
sure.
sure.
Anyway.
Not sure, not to be honest.
Injury. We're going straight back to Cordaro anyway in a flex position, I'd say.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he wasn't particularly high in the draft this year either, Cordero, was he?
I'm not sure, 6th or 7th
Not sure.
round probably, was he?
Yeah, so like you're probably happy enough that if you have him on your team, you're flexing them like.
My brain cells can't remember back to the draft. That's long gone. I deleted that week 2. The wide receiver position for Atlanta doesn't exist, so don't worry about that. Chicago is a little bit tastier. Claypool or Mooney?
I think if you're going to play one, I'd play Mooney, but I still keep an eye on Claypool. Claypool just doesn't see I don't know if he just hasn't got the offensive book kind of set yet, or they just don't really trust him yet. But he just doesn't seem to be getting the receptions at the moment. But he's definitely a guy you kind of keep an eye on.
Yeah, the only guy who seems to be picking up receptions off that Bears team is the guy we probably talk about next, which is Cole Kmet.
Yeah, Cole Kmet. I
Yes.
feel like you pick him up and play him this week.
Yeah, 3 solid weeks now.
Yeah, so Kmet seems to be the beneficiary of Fields' uptick on that offense.
We talked about Kyle Pitts in the duds. Like I feel like it's just time to put yourself out of your misery and just don't play Kyle Pitts anymore.
Trade deadline is this week. Just trade him for anything.
I don't think you can.
Anything.
Maybe you can. Carolina at Baltimore. Baker Mayfield versus Lamar Jackson this week. Like Mariota goes in ahead of Baker as well. Like this is madness.
Not really. Baker just sucks balls. Like he's just not very good.
Lamar Jackson, then he's your auto start at that quarterback position, and then running backs is. See, we didn't have this issue with Baltimore last week where we had to talk about Gus Edwards, Kenyon Drake, Justice Hill. Like it's just.
You'd imagine Gus will probably go straight back in. You'd imagine.
Yeah, you would have thought so, but I don't think I want to play any of them. It's half the issue. I think if I have a better option than any of them, I don't want to.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Like realistically, it should be Kenyon Drake. It should be Kenyon Drake. He has had 2 really good weeks into the bye week, and he's coming back out. And you would say Kenyon Drake has played really well for us, scored a few touchdowns, got a lot of yards. Wow, why don't we just stick with Kenyon Drake? But I guarantee you, Harbaugh will see some reason just to throw back into Gus Bus.
Yeah, the running back for Baltimore inevitably be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Deonta Foreman then or Chuba Hubbard. Foreman, surely, is it?
Surely, it has to be Foreman at this point.
At this stage, yes. What's
He's doing too well.
One bad week since he's taken over.
Yeah, and
play any receivers in this game. Do you want to play DJ or Duvernay?
No, I think realistically, if you have options some way, shape, or form, like I'm not playing them. Like DJ,
that's a choice to have, isn't it? More Duvernay.
Like I think at this stage, like if DJ Moore was sitting in my flex, I think with the way the Bears are playing and with who the Bears are playing, I'd nearly flex Kmet over him. Like I'd flex a tight end over him at the minute.
So AVJP, we are indeed answering questions. So chuck them in the chat if you want us to come back to them. We're always answering questions here. Not very well, but we're answering them.
Some of us answer questions well. Others tell people to start Taylor Heineke.
I tell people to go get. I have Justin Fields. I don't need to worry about these quarterback issues. I would target Duvernay though as like a cheap trade target if you want to get ready for the playoffs because they have a soft schedule in the playoffs. They have Cleveland, Atlanta, and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's defense will be better, but it's not a bad wide receiver matchups there at all. Like,
no.
I
wouldn't. I just wouldn't trust Duvernay, man. I wouldn't even waste the bench spot on him. I think there's better guys there that you can pick up.
Hopefully Mark Andrews is back for this game though, but just keep an eye on the practice report. He's got a good chance of playing this week apparently. See this question we have here in the chat. 10-man PPR, 8 and 10, first round bye, pretty much locked up. You trade Fields, Swift, and T. Higgins for Kyler and Tyreek. Oh, that's tasty enough. So Fields and Swift, Higgins for Kyler and Tyreek. Other QB is Lamar. Other running backs are Chubb, ETN, Walker, Jeff Wilson. Other wide receivers are Amon-Ra, AJ Brown.
Oh, that's a tasty team, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I take that trade. Lamar is there. I take the trade.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'd probably do it as well. Swift is so difficult, man, because like their playoff schedule is amazing for Swift as well, but he just doesn't seem to be healthy at all.
Even if he is healthy at the minute, he's not getting. They're not giving him the ball anyway to even see how, like, so we can see how healthy he is. Like they gave it to him in a big running situation at the weekend and he couldn't convert it. Like Williams just seems to be their go-to guy at the minute. So Swift, you're looking at a healthy 7 points maybe a week off him. An okay flex option if you're stuck with an injury there. But like your team is so strong, you don't have to worry about it anyway. But I wouldn't be trading for him and getting him or even starting him if he was in my lineup as the RB1. Like I know you drafted him probably with a first round draft pick, but Swift is a guy now I'd be looking like I have to have another option. Like I can't be relying on him to be my RB1 anymore. And he went out so early in the season as well. Most people probably got a replacement for him. But Swift is a handy squad rotation guy, I think, to have in your team at this moment in time.
It's just hard to give up Fields, I think, is the issue. When you have that, that'd be the only thing that would deter me from it. It's just when you have that advantage at the quarterback position. But if you get Kyler, you're getting Tyreek Hill, it's well worth it.
And you have Lamar there as well already. Like I don't even think Kyler goes in as your starter, does he? I'd be starting Lamar.
Not now, no. I'd start Lamar, yeah.
Cleveland at Buffalo. We said an angry Buffalo team going into last week when they're playing the Vikings. Cleveland are going to super angry Buffalo.
No, we're really pissed off now.
Yeah,
they are the Bills.
The one thing I would say about this game, the one thing I did notice was Josh Allen. Like he threw some mad balls, but on top of that, it didn't look like Sean McDermott wanted him to throw it a whole heap of times. So like how healthy that arm is seems to be another kind of a thing, and he seemed to hurt it again at the weekend. So does Singletary and Cook and Hines those kind of become viable RB2 down to flex options? Like that's something that I think could be very interesting about the Cleveland game.
Singletary, yes. Hines and Cook, I'm not really interested in messing with that.
Yeah,
because Singletary, I know he had a big week and he hasn't been good all year, and we've said it on here that like, hey, look, you get what you get with Singletary. He's that 8 point a week kind of guy. He's going to get you carries. He's going to get you, he's going to get touches, but he's not a game winner. Like he's not going to change the outcome of the game for you in fantasy. But now I think with the injury to Allen, can Singletary have a back-to-back above, like I don't think he get 20, but maybe above 15 this week again, like?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough. You can flex him, RB2 him, but no, I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in as my lead horse, but like that's kind of where I am at the minute. Like, because as you know, I have him in our league, but I out of circumstance have to play him this week. But I'm just thinking for people who are watching or listening, like, say, would you consider Singletary a viable option with Josh Allen's injury at the minute?
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
I've been putting him in a flex anyway. Like he's a solid flex play, and he got his touchdowns that he was due this week. So hopefully they keep flowing now. Like he didn't have any touchdowns in the season, did he? Then he got 2 this week.
So.
Now hopefully they keep flowing. CD for Jamar. He already has Jefferson and St. Brown. I probably do it purely because Jamar Chase is probably 2 weeks away, and then even when he comes back, is he another week kind of getting back in the swing of things? You need wins now if you're in a playoff competition like.
Yeah, it depends on your record right now. If you are in the playoffs, if you have secured your playoff spot healthy, only say 3 losses on the record this year, I make the trade. But if you need to win to get to the playoffs, I'm not giving up CD Lamb for an injured Jamar Chase at this moment in time because I want to get to my playoffs.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Sorry, Shane. I forgot when we were on the Chicago game to make sure to get you some more.
You realize that this goes out on YouTube, yeah, and we can get banned off YouTube for playing copyrighted songs.
You get
I don't have to
15
listen to
seconds.
that shit.
Well, they won't even know. Stop.
Oh, Nick Chubb is an auto start. Kareem Hunt, he's just a bench at this stage. You're not playing him against Buffalo anyway. Like,
yeah, I don't think so.
I can't even understand how apps are even like projecting him to have 9 points at this stage. Like just project him at a low 2. It's fine.
On the previous question, he's 8-2. So yeah, maybe go make that trade.
Yeah.
And go get Jamar.
Yeah,
I'd make the trade then. If you're 8-2, you can definitely justify the trade. Like, you're going to get Jamar back for your playoffs. He's clearly going to be a better player than CD. Like, CD had a big bye week this week, but the Cowboys, they're not a pass happy offense. Cincinnati really is a big pass happy offense. I 100% want Jamar over CD.
Cool. And back to our game then. So we have Amari Cooper. He's on the road against Buffalo, so that's a bench.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. 100% man's on the road. He's not scoring. What did he get this week?
4.7.
Yeah, awful.
To check.
Awful. Like, Amari Cooper isn't going to have a good week again till Tampa Bay week 12. And then you can't play him for about 4 weeks.
It's so funny how accurate this is, though. You know, I know it is every week, but it's just so funny.
Like, I'm telling you, man, if you were a Cowboys fan, you would have known that coming into the year. It was painful to watch him.
Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, they're just auto starts early. You're not questioning them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could I interest you, Knox?
Yeah.
I don't think right now, no. I still don't think he's getting a lot of ball. And like Shane's saying, like, if Allen is injured and his arm is sore and they get a bit of an up in this game, like, then you're kind of going back to the running backs more than wanting Allen to throw the ball, because it's his arm, and he injured his arm.
Yeah, but the other side of that is, Jamie, is the deep bomb gone, and are you coming to the checkdowns to the tight end then? Could we actually see, because Josh Allen can no longer throw the ball 80 yards downfield, are we going to see Dawson Knox take an uptick in checkdown passes?
Yeah, he seems quite able to sling it this week.
Yeah,
he was hitting big ones.
Yeah, like Knox wasn't that involved last week, and he was probably more injured last week than he will be this week. You know, he still wasn't involved.
Yeah,
the Browns and the Bills are both pretty good at the tight end as well, 5 and 7. So probably we may just look elsewhere for our tight end carousel.
Donovan's Peoples-Jones, if you need a player this week, he's probably going to get around 10, 12 points again, because Amari Cooper isn't going to catch the ball. He's away from
easy analysis, but it works.
It's facts.
No stats, just facts.
No, this is just things that will happen. We're not backing it up with any sort of stats. It's just facts.
Washington at Houston.
Whoa.
I didn't want to be the one negative. we have an issue here now with Washington running backs because of the big game against the Eagles last night.
Yeah, no. I still don't think you go to that well unless you really need to. Like one good game does not make people good. Like
I love the way we're getting around that.
I was trying to think of something.
What is the Shakespeare quote even? Is it like one good something does not a man?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, you were close,
like
Dad.
Whatever.
Still good.
You get my point. Yeah, like I still don't think you want to go there. Like if they're on a waiver somewhere, which they probably aren't, like you stack them on your bench or something. But other than that, I don't think you're playing those running backs. I think the only running back you're playing here is probably Pierce. That's it. Like,
Well, I feel okay flexing Gibson. I'd say I probably feel okay flexing Gibson.
The wide receivers then Brandon Cooks is probably dead in the water at this stage. Even I've come to the point where I'm admitting that now.
Yeah, he needs a move out of Houston, doesn't he? He's too good to be there, and he doesn't want to be there, and they don't seem to want him now anymore. So it's just a whole pile of shit for him, really, isn't it? He just needs to get out of there. He'd be a lot better off.
And then Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, Jamie.
Yeah, like you can play the button this week. The Texans are just so bad, that I think at least you can flex the two of them anyway.
No,
what is it?
No, you
Well,
can play Terry McLaurin. Stop this. Look, the Will Disley thing with me is funny. Okay, this Curtis Samuel shit you've got going on is absolutely awful. Stop giving people bad advice. You're constantly telling people to play Curtis Samuel. Stop. He has been terrible since like week 3.
He has not. He's been average.
Terrible.
Average. No, he's not. He's been quite good every week, except like he was bad in week 6, but after week 6, he's like 10, 9.5, 15, 6, and last week he was 5. But he's been Eagles. So like against the Texans, surely that's a flex option.
No.
Look, and he's in the question. Come on, Dan. Move on.
All right, I'm reading the question as I go. With hurting a wide receiver with the cup injury, he has Christian Kirk, Curtis Samuel, and Kadarius Toney. He's looking to make a trade for the trade deadline, which is tomorrow. Has Fields and Josh Allen. Trade Josh Allen and Kirk for CD and McLaurin.
No.
Josh Allen and Kirk for CD and McLaurin, but he has Fields.
No, I'm not giving away Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think
I
you can probably get more for Fields right now.
Yeah. Well, if I'm trading Fields, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for Fields almost straight up for CD first. See, does that happen?
Yeah, it's like I probably would. Yeah, I don't even know what I look for McLaurin. Like, I could do McLaurin, but he wants Josh Allen. Well, look, if he wants Josh Allen, I wouldn't be happy to rock with Fields. I think there's a bubble about the burst here somewhere down along the line. I don't think this is staying the way it's staying. I think Fields is going back to being what we know. But if you want to give up Josh Allen,
we're not doing this every time we mention Fields.
Yeah. As the song says, you can push it to the limit and probably get knocked out in the playoffs early when he bombs. But yeah, I could with the way he's playing at the minute, I could definitely give up Josh Allen for CD and McLaurin. I could do that, but I don't know. I want to give up Kirk as well. Like, I'd rather have Kirk than McLaurin. And I think Josh Allen scores enough points that he justifies the 2 wide receivers. Because McLaurin hasn't been fantastic this year. He's getting better, more consistent, but I'd look for the 2 guys with just Josh Allen. I don't want to give up Christian Kirk as well.
Yeah.
You're going to have to cut someone anyway on the back end. Maybe go offer Josh Allen and Curtis Samuel for Terry and CD.
Yeah, get rid of Curtis Samuel off your team. Yeah, he's ass.
Fuck's sake.
Well, look, he mentions it in the next bit here that he can't see himself rostering Curtis Samuel and Tony as his wide receivers. Who would you guys rather have as one of your 2 wide receivers left on the team? Tony or Curtis Samuel?
Tony.
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony.
Tony all day long, because Curtis Samuel is ass.
Tony.
No one rates Curtis Samuel. Can't even trade him away. If Jamie was in your league, you would have a trade partner.
I wouldn't trade for him, okay? But like, you can pick him up. He's definitely a flex option this week. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't say it every week. Okay, I stopped saying it for weeks.
Philadelphia at the Indianapolis Colts, led by Mr. Saturday himself, and Matt Ryan is back.
He is not an option. Don't make the mistake. He is not an option.
Just don't ask the question, Dan. We're not gonna talk about Matt Ryan. And Hurts, he's straight in anyway, and Mr. Jonathan Taylor has returned to us. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Tough game for him this week. That Philly D is really good, and you know they're going to load the box against them. Be a tough week for Indianapolis to get the ball moving on the ground.
But the 2 running backs did very well against him there Monday night. So you imagine if those 2 boys can do it, Taylor can sure do it.
Yeah, the inside linebackers are getting injured for Philly, aren't they? There's hope for us all. Miles Sanders, how do we like? He started like unbelievably, and he's been quite consistent since then. But yesterday was a bit of a pain. So are we going back to the well?
If you have Sanders, you're playing Sanders. Let's call spade a spade. Like, I don't think you'd be happy to have him. So I think we kind of know how we feel about Sanders at this point in this podcast. Like, none of us would have drafted him because of this reason. He's just so inconsistent. But like, he seemed to be more consistent this year. But you don't know what you're getting with Sanders. He could do that. He can get that 5-point game, or he could break out against Colts and score 20, 30 points. You just don't know. You just have to run over that.
If I had Sanders, I'd be trying to trade him because he has 2 okay weeks against the Colts and Green Bay coming up. But then Tennessee, the Giants, a nice week against Chicago, week 15, and then Dallas in week 16. Like, he doesn't have the greatest schedule for running back there.
Yeah, no, like
I think it's a good option. Like he should have enough trade value. You should be able to move him. It's probably the right call to make is to move him on now.
Yeah,
Michael Pittman, Jamie.
Bench him. That's it.
Oh.
No, at this point you're done with him. Like, there's so many better options even on the waiver at this point. There's no point arse. There's no point arsing around with that man anymore. He's just not getting the ball, and he's not good enough at this point. Just you bench him until he starts showing any bit of decency of what his actual skill is, but bench him.
It's gone to crap with Devonta Smith. He had an okay day against Washington, but are you rolling the dice here as a flex maybe?
No, I just don't trust him enough. And again, I think like you can go out, and in most leagues, guys like Zay Jones are available who are solid 8-point a week guys. They don't have the upside of Devonta Smith, but I'm nearly sticking more to just consistent points than getting burned by these guys anymore. It's one too many times for me with Devonta Smith now this season.
It's fair enough. AJ Brown auto starts, so we don't really need to discuss him too much. And then the tight end hell.
Whoa! We cannot just jump over Paris Campbell. The man is burning up people now for the Colts. He is the number 1 there now, and he's probably available. He's a 28% ownership rate and an 8% start rate on teams. Paris Campbell is a guy everyone should be going out trying to waiver this week.
So the way you gave out to me about Curtis Samuel there like 2 minutes ago, like you have the same thing with Paris Campbell. The man's had 1 good week. Like
try 3.
He has not had. He had a good week this week. Other than that,
okay.
The week 4 he got like 3 points.
Week
Sam
6,
Erlinger was there.
2. Week 7 he had 18, and then this week he had 17. So it seems to be if Matt Ryan plays, he seems to play okay.
Yeah.
Pretty well.
Matt
I'm
Ryan's
just
the new
not
guy.
rolling. I'm not rolling the dice with those Colts wide receivers anymore. I just think
Look,
there's better options.
this week as well, I think as the Eagles, I think you'd be asking a lot for any of the Colts receivers to probably do anything special for you. But out of all, like if we were going to pick a Colts receiver at the moment, I would be picking Paris Campbell to play.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
My play of the week comes for the next game. So the New York Jets at the New England
Oh,
Patriots.
Before we move on, Dan, Ellis, is it? Ellis has he continued on with his trade talk here. Elias, sorry.
Sorry, where are we? So trade Josh Allen for Marquise Brown straight up. That's the max 300. Marquise is back after
Dear
bye.
God, no.
Kingsbury came out and said that today, but I feel like you can get more. Like the Cardinals have San Francisco this week, and then the bye, and then Marquise is back.
Yeah, no.
Like to me, I wouldn't even be trading with Josh Allen. To me, he's untradeable. So like he's that good, and I know like he wasn't great last week, but that's because he was a little bit injured. Like, but once he gets back, you need that man for the playoffs. He could single-handedly win you that playoff.
Would you feel Hollywood?
I just don't have the faith and feels that you have in Fields, Dan. I know he's had 2 good weeks, but 2 good weeks does not make it the man.
I'm a bit confused here. So it's basically Kirk and Hollywood Brown for CD and McLaurin.
Yeah, so like he's saying he could trade away Kirk with Josh Allen and get CD and McLaurin, or he could just trade Allen and get Hollywood.
Okay.
So if I'm picking one of them, I'll give Kirk and Allen up for CD and McLaurin. I wouldn't take the Hollywood trade. I think that's ludicrous. But I'd say if I was you, I'd go to a different person in your league. And if you really are intent on shopping Josh Allen, you will get a better price for him. Someone will pay up. Someone has to be hurting a quarterback somewhere. This year, quarterbacks haven't been outstanding, and Josh Allen is one of the guys he's a top 5 guy at the end of the year. You're going to get someone paying for Josh Allen.
New York Jets at New England. So my play of the week is go get the New England defense coming off the bye. They're bound to be sitting on your waivers. And Zach Wilson will throw interceptions. Like that's just going to happen.
That is facts.
I think the only people we need to discuss in this are Michael Carter and Ramondre Stevenson, really.
Jacoby Myers gets a shout as well, I think. I think he's performed admirably enough to get a shout.
Yeah. Fair enough. Flex him.
Outside of that, yeah.
Like Jacoby Myers, or would you go Terry McLaurin against Houston?
Well, I'd probably take McLaurin just because it's Houston. But the Jets defense has been lights out. Like but I do like in an overall sense, if it wasn't just matched up on the week, I'd take Jacoby Myers. But for this week, I'd rather McLaurin.
Yeah, like this could be a very low scoring game. There's probably a whole pile of people who really want here.
Garrett Wilson, maybe 14.5 against New England in the first game, 12.9 against Buffalo, then the bye week back in New England now.
Yeah, in New England, though, like that we said this earlier. You actually said it, Dan, earlier a couple of weeks back. That New England defense in New England just seems to play better.
Yeah, it's a scary prospect, that. Conklin. No, thank you.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not here. I think the only ones to play here is Stevenson. I wouldn't even play Carter, to be honest.
Play the kickers in this one if I was anyone. If you play kickers in your league, pick up Greg Zuerlein or pick up Nick Folk if they're available. They would be 2 guys because I reckon this game has a lot of field goals in it.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Rams at the Saints. I don't want to play anything in this game. Like not a single piece.
I think I play Olave.
Oh, I don't even know about Olave. Like,
I think I'd
Yeah,
play Olave.
they probably would. Yeah, the Rams have suck. They look so bad. Yeah, I definitely would.
so does
I
every
think you'd
Dolphin.
actually play more on the Saints side here than you would on the Rams side, which is such an odd thing to say, since the Rams should have been the champs. Like,
Well,
but the
I
really,
think this
Dolphin. Like, why?
this is the week where Skoranek blows up, man. No Cooper Cup,
Jesus.
Skoranek to the moon.
Fuck.
See how mine are funny, Jamie, and Curtis Samuel is just ass.
I don't mind Scarlet because it's a cool name. So like,
Yeah, that's the
you
only
can
reason
say
I
it.
like him.
Yeah.
It's just fun to say more than anything.
Oh, so there's like Alvin Kamara. He had a bad week, but you probably have to go back there because it's Alvin Kamara. You just have to, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, even with Allen Robinson as the one, I think I'd rather shoot myself in the face.
Vivid, I like it.
It's fair enough, though. Yeah. Like,
Van Jefferson probably isn't a bad pickup. Like Stafford seemed to go to him a bit this week, just gone. You could probably, if you're in a real bad situation with wide receivers, pick him up and flex him. Probably. There's no guarantee he's going to be very good, but if you're in that desperation place where you have a few injuries, Cooper Kupp went down for you, maybe you try Van Jefferson.
yeah, well, I'd say Higbee could be nearly a shout here. Like, Joe, he's probably the best receiver to have now.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, the Higbee did get a bit of a tick up once Cup went out, but it's hard to be confident in any of the Rams players, really.
Well, what about your man, Shane Williams? Do you think he's gonna? You've been talking about him exploding for the last 2 weeks.
He got it like first game back, he got a few touches, he got more passes than anything, but I think he's a guy that if he's available, you pick him up, stash him on your bench. I think he is going to take over as the number one guy there. They don't seem to really like Henderson. Cam Akers, as much talk as McVay had about bringing him back into the fold, he hasn't really done anything with him. So Kyron Williams, to me, rookie guy, got injured the first play of the season. That's what kept him out all these weeks. They seem to want to use him. So maybe he's a guy that you can try pick up. But again, I wouldn't be relying on him. I'd be benching him and kind of seeing where you go with him. That Rams backfield is a mess as well. It's not a Raven situation, isn't it?
Yeah, except it's even less sexy.
Yeah. There's nobody named Gus.
Detroit at
Gus
New York
is a sexy name.
Size of a bus. Detroit at Giants. Like we were talking earlier, it's thin on the old streams.
Yeah, just before we move on to that game, then another question there.
Buying a little less traded James Robinson and Hardman for Wilson Garrett. That's a great trade.
Yeah, that's a fantastic trade.
Well done. Well done, Elias.
James Robinson and Hardman's injured for ages, isn't he? And Robinson hasn't done anything for the Jets. So
is Hardman gone for a long time? I thought it was only last week he's out for.
I thought I saw multiple weeks, but that might be just in my head. To me, he's nothing anyway. Hardman.
Yeah, he's not a guy you're going to be playing much anyway. Like,
he's just so unreliable. Like, saying that he had 3 good weeks, but
yeah,
I have scar tissue there.
He finally put together a bit of consistency and then got injured. Like he had four good weeks in a row. 10, 10, 26 bye week, and then 17 and got injured.
As we were saying, Jared Goff, he's in streaming contention for this. You'd play him over Derek Carr against Denver.
Yeah.
you'd probably play him over you might even play you'd probably play him over Herbert against Kansas City, would you? Herbert with no weapons.
Yeah, that Chargers team
Yeah.
has just been plagued by injury this year. So hard to watch.
DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. I think you just have to bench Swift until you get the 20-point weeks back.
Yeah, again, what's he been getting? Kind of 7s, 8s for his weeks. Is it 6, 11, 6, 7? So he's probably flexible. Just I wouldn't want him as my RB1, RB2. You
Yeah.
could probably flex him.
He was saved last weekend because he got the touchdown. So he
Yeah,
only rushed for 6 yards.
Yeah, he's probably going to be very touchdown reliant for you, isn't he?
Yeah, the touches aren't there. 5, 2, 6. That's not going to get it done, is it?
No.
Yeah, play Jamal Williams anyway. Saquon Barkley, he's straight in. But if you do have Saquon Barkley on your roster, I would be recommending to go and pick up Matt Breida now. He had 35 touches this week, Barkley. If the Giants keep leaning on him, you're going to need an insurance back there.
I've been saying it all year.
Wandale is dead to me. You cannot talk me into Wandale. Maybe.
Who talked you into him in the first place? I think we said it on this last week. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
I didn't play him anywhere. But no, he's definitely dead to me.
No, but I don't. I think you just seem to think in your head people got talked into Wandale Robinson. Nobody got talked into Wandale Robinson.
We did, but that was about 5 or 6 weeks ago.
That'd be an interesting stat for Sleeper to give us the percentage played in a week. How many teams actually played him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you take just off his start, he was started by 25% of people this week, apparently.
That 25% don't listen to us, along with the other 99.97%.
Well, I would say the 58% that actually have him on their teams aren't listening to us, or if they are, they're just ignoring us.
It's probably not a bad shout. Aiden's an interesting pickup. He had a decent week. You might be able to look his way a little bit, but he's probably one of those bench players.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just kind of want to save the Giants, apart from Barkley. I think that's kind of it.
Did you see Roto World's tweet where they said Kenny Golladay breaks out for one drop this week?
Yeah, oh, it's so bad. Golladay sucks ass.
I actually want to go for Kenny Golladay because he's getting paid a lot of money to be this bad.
Yeah, it's the old look. We should be able to make fun of him anyway, but you're getting paid that much to be that bad. You definitely deserve to get fun made of you some way, shape, or form.
This is a revenge game. Kenny Golladay versus Detroit.
The only revenge that's there is the fact that the Giants can't give him back to him.
The Giants probably want to revenge on Golladay.
They're trying to sneak him back on the bus, so that's going to take him back in.
Yeah,
now an auto start.
Yeah, even go back to Slayton there. The Detroit defense is so bad that Slayton, this, if he's going to have a good week, this should be the week where he has a good week, isn't it? Realistically, if anyone is going to have a good week, receiving for them, it should be Slayton, and it should be against the worst defense in football. Yeah. But he's also a Giants fan. Oh, me and you shouldn't get along. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Vegas at Denver. I don't want anything to do with Derek Carr in this game anyway. If I can find any option not to stream him, because the Denver defense has been amazing. If they had scored at least 18 points in every game, they'd be 8-2 apparently.
Yeah, but getting back to the fact that you mentioned streaming and Derek Carr in one sentence again, How many times do I got to tell you? If you get 0 points in a week as a quarterback where you played a full game, you are never, ever to touch a fantasy roster again. That man should be shot in the eyes of fantasy players. He just shouldn't be played. Your quarterback should never get 0.
He's done quite well since. It's actually had 2 very good weeks.
I don't care. He could be the best quarterback for the next 6 weeks, and I'm still not playing him.
Russell Wilson's not in contention for me, even with a nice matchup. It's not worth your pain.
No, especially with Judy gone out as well.
Why are your sleepers still projecting him for like 21 points a week? Like, just go away. No
Yeah,
way
that's
he's getting
crazy.
21 points a week.
It's like the stats guy did it at the start of the year, and he was there like, I'm not redoing
it. Josh Jacobs, yeah, play him. It's not a great matchup. Just don't expect much from him.
Yeah. It's so, like, this week, I feel there's a lot of matchups we have that, like, most of the streamable players seem to be playing each other, and most of the useless ass guys are all playing each other. It's very, very annoying this week. Like, games where guys should be picking up points, kind of playing against certain teams. Like, you there's no one you can really rely on in them games. This seems to be another one. Like,
yeah,
I agree. There's nothing here you really want. The defenses are going to be pretty good. Denver's running game, forget about it. Like,
yeah, that's awful. Like,
Devontae Adams, go for it.
Is Latavius Murray like still their lead back?
No, it actually is Gordon now.
Oh, is
but
it?
Like that? Yeah, but that's not very good. Like, so
no, that's awful.
I feel like you just like anytime Denver pop up on the screen, you just kind of zone out. Like, there's just nothing to watch there. Like,
oh yeah, no,
very
they're so bad. Like, they are so bad offensively.
I will say that you can look at Cortland Sutton and Dulcich this week, though. Like, someone has to catch the bloody ball.
Yeah, Dulcich.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Like, I'm going to be playing Sutton as a flex this week in our league, though, just purely because someone has to catch the ball.
Would you play Foster Moreau after the week he had last week? Raiders finally going back to the tight end some way, shape, or form.
No, I'm not against Denver. Just not against nothing against Denver. I can avoid it. Like, Devontae Adams, fire him up at everything. Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs for me in this, and that's it. Like,
yeah, like Moreau got the touchdown, which kind of inflated his points a bit more than what he actually did. So I don't know. I think he got that well yet.
Yeah, no, I think Dulcich is the guy for me from Denver. I don't think I want Sutton too much, but I think Dulcich, no Judy, surely he takes an uptick in catches and everything. Dan, I think you skipped like 2 questions there. But
Allen Robinson or Christian Watson, half PPR?
None of them.
No, I'd say Watson now.
No way, man. Look, you're a Green Bay fan, and I know you want the best for your team. And yes, he was absolutely exceptional this week. But the majority of the game, he played against Anthony Brown, who's absolutely ass. He couldn't catch the ball all season, and he caught 3 deep bombs. They're not going to play him as easy this week. There's no way he gets as bad of a corner on him this week as what he had against Dallas. I would not be trusting him. I think I would actually take Allen Robinson.
All I'm hearing is he's improving week to week.
He's played like 4 weeks.
But he's healthy now. There's no dubs. It's Hazard and Watson. They're the backfield there. Like, and if Rodgers has finally got his groove back, like, both of those boys are streamable.
I'd personally play Allen Robinson, but I'd probably pick up Watson anyway.
Oh, fuck you, Dan.
Yeah, like I would I would waste the number 1 waiver on Watson anyway, but like Allen
Watch
Robinson
me.
would be my choice. Yeah, well, I'd do it. I would waste mine on him, but like it's Robinson to be the play. Because like he goes on to mention about tight end replacement here. I think you can get either of those two tight ends. You probably don't have to waste your first choice waiver on them. You could probably pick them up. They might even go back into free agency after the waiver is done, like.
Yeah.
I think a lot of tight ends will get dropped this week. Like I saw Dulcich got dropped in our league already. Like Higby could easily be dropped.
Yeah, like the thing, like, look, I'm in the same situation. My tight end got injured this week. The Mr. Consistency himself, Zach Ertz, is gone. I'm going joining the tight end carousel, right? But I'm not overly pushed on who I get. I'm just going to pick up a guy and go, you're going to get me some points. That's all that matters. I'm not overly focused on the tight end, like.
For this question, I'd probably play Knox over Moreau, though. I just don't want to play Moreau against Denver.
Yeah, look, I'll jump on that as well. I'll take just the Bills' offense is so explosive that he does get something. I'll take that chance over Monroe.
Denver's defense is just so good. It's hard to see where the points even come half the time. Like Russell keeps giving the ball back to the other team.
Yeah, that's it. Probably the big fact that they spend the defense spends the majority of the time out there is probably the reason why they give up points.
You see Russell Wilson's last interception the last day. It was just like, who are you even throwing that at? Anyway, Dallas at Minnesota, 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. This could be a high-scoring game. You might want to fire up a lot of pieces in this game.
Yeah, this will be a high-scoring game.
So Kirk Cousins is even probably an option here, even with the Dallas defense being so good. If you're in that streaming category.
I could see myself starting Cousins this week if I needed a QB, yeah.
Cousins or Herbert against Kansas City?
Yeah, I'd probably take Cousins, yeah.
Probably would take Cousins, yeah.
Cousins or Goff against the Giants?
I'd probably pivot to Goff. I just think there's more of a chance that Cousins loses out in a few points through sacks and picks that Goff probably doesn't lose out to this week.
Yeah, I still think I'd go Cousins.
All right.
Yeah, that one's a tougher one. I need to really think about that one. But first impressions would say Cousins just because of Justin Jefferson. Because like that guy can, he can kind of he can score points for Cousins.
Yeah, he's just carrying Cousins. Is all he's doing.
Dak, I play Dak in this game anyway.
Yeah.
The question is at running back then. Do we have Zeke back for this game?
I think Zeke does come back. I think it is back to being kind of an even share of the ball, but it's going to be tough for him to run the football the way they want to run the football. I'd start both of them, but they'd be RB2s to me, the two of them.
Yeah, we have a question coming in there from Elias. They're talking about Herbert, the way we're putting him in as a streamer. It's just as Herbert get these weapons back is half the issue that he becomes a streamer over guys like.
Yeah, like how many weeks now have we been told that Allen is fit, he's healthy, he's back? You know, like, look, I'm not buying it anymore. You just suck my ass. I'm not playing him.
Very heavy on the ass, Shane. Tony Pollard and Zeke, I'd probably put the two of them in. There's not really much else you do there, is there? You just play them both.
Yeah, that's like if Zeke's healthy, you're playing Zeke. And Tony Pollard has been so good when Zeke hasn't been there that you're definitely sticking with him as well. Like.
Yeah, they're not going to drop Pollard straight out of the team. Like, that's just madness.
No, and even before Zeke got injured, Pollard was still getting carries. Now, obviously, he wasn't getting the points he's getting since Zeke has gone out, but like it'll be more of a 50-50, I think. Before it was a bit of a 70-30, 60-40. You're probably going to get more of a 50-50 backfield here.
Mm-hmm.
Dalvin Cook, just put him in your lineup. You don't need to question that one.
Yeah.
Same Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. You don't really need to talk about
Yep.
them. Gallup and Thielen, they're kind of interesting options. Like you could roll with either of them quite handily in this game.
More so Thielen, I think. Gallup still hasn't done a whole pile since he's come back from the injury, like, has he?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think the thing is with Gallup is we're so used to him in the last couple of seasons. He's not a high draft pick that you pick up. He's a guy that you can just steadily kind of rely on to hit a home run down the field. He hasn't done that yet this year, but like you gotta assume it's coming, so again, I definitely would go with you though, Jamie. I'd be more confident starting Thielen than Gallup.
These two tight ends are just auto starts at this stage. You don't really need to figure out that. Dalton Schultz and Taylor Hawkinson. So what's Hawkinson's first name? TJ, is it?
Yeah.
It's completely escaping me. Divisional game, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I'm very surprised that Cincinnati are only 5-4 here at this stage of the season, but do we think they get the business done here? Like Pittsburgh with TJ Watt is a different animal.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see this weekend, but surely you would have to think Burrow, Higgins, Boyd, Mixon. Like you'd have to think they're definitely going to want to run the ball a whole lot more with TJ Watt back. They're going to want to play off that play action a bit more this week. So I still think Cincinnati get the win.
Yeah, you would still imagine so. Like, they have enough there to kind of put up the points. So even if the Steelers are defensively fairly decent, like, you still have to fancy the Bengals. They just have so many weapons there.
Going back to the previous conversation about Gallup, would you play Donovan's Peoples-Jones, Gallup, or Slayton? I'll get you the matchups now.
Oh, Donovan's Peoples-Jones, man. Amari Cooper's away from home. Man's number one receiver this week. I'm not even joking.
I know you're not joking.
Browns are in that Buffalo game. Who was the third option?
Slayton is playing the Lions. Like Slayton should be probably your option there. He probably is your best option because Wandale isn't what we thought isn't what other people thought he was, is what we thought he was. But Slayton should be the guy there this week. He's playing the worst defense. He's on what seems to be a decent team. They can't keep leaning on Barkley to carry the ball 35 plus times in a game. So he should get more of the ball. But it's New York, and I just never trust New York receivers. Not since OBJ left.
Yeah, I think that's your problem. Like, if we expected to be such a big points matchup, say with the Vikings and the Cowboys, like, I think you probably go Gallup out of these three.
No, I'd still take Donovan's Peoples-Jones over.
I don't know. I just wouldn't trust him. I think of all people, I think your better upside is Gallup here.
I'd be going Slayton purely because the Detroit defense just can't stop people.
Yeah, I just wouldn't trust the Giants. That's what
we all pick someone different.
Yeah, well, look, Slayton would be your pick if you're looking at the stats. Gallup would be your pick if you're going off what you would expect to get out of a high scoring game because it should be so high scoring. And Donovan's Peoples-Jones should be your pick because someone has to score against the Bills at some point, and it's not going to be Amari Cooper.
Joe Burrow, you're starting him straight away, but then Kenny Pickett, you have no interest there, so don't even talk about that.
Maybe next year, Kenny. Maybe next year.
Poor Kenny.
Jamie, you had a closer eye on this week with you picked up Warren. Like, what happened with the Pittsburgh running backs?
Yeah, Warren looked quite good. He did actually look quite good. I think if Warren is probably on a lot of waivers still at this point. If you have him on the waiver, pick that man up. Second on the bench. I started him this week, and he far from hurt me. He got, I don't know, check 9.2. And he looks much better than ours. He looks much better than Harris.
Yeah, Harris kind of stunk from what I saw, but and he's questionable as well. Brilliant.
Yeah, like if Harris is out, pick up Warren and play him. You could actually, I think you could actually put him as an RB2. I think he's that good.
Joe Mixon coming off the 5 touchdown game,
Yeah, I
so
don't see why not.
he's
The Pittsburgh line is just so bad. I think.
yeah. It is a bad line. In fairness, they don't have much going on there. Higgins, Boyd. Play Higgins, next Boyd, maybe.
Yeah. 2 boys are all start to think. Yeah, when you're playing them, like they just have that serious upside in those wide receivers.
You might be able to find a better option than Boyd is the only thing. Like you might. Would you prefer Thielen over Boyd, or are we going Boyd?
No, I think I'd go Boyd. I just think you've that upside with Burrow. Like they're just going to throw the ball a lot. They always do.
Oh, Shane froze up on us, did he?
No, I'm back there now.
Back there now. Another question in here. 8-2. Kyler, Chubb, Monty, Jamal Williams, Diggs, Debo, Kelsey, Boyd, and Khalil Herbert. Should I trade Debo away? You're probably a bit late on trading Debo away. You needed to do it when I traded him to Jamie.
Yeah, I think the value is gone on Debo at the minute. Now you're most people are probably out on him.
Yeah, you're better off just keeping waiting for it to come back around. You trade Nick Chubb for Derrick Henry, 5 and 5.5 PPR. I'd probably trade Nick Chubb for Derrick Henry. You take a look at schedules there while you two talk it out.
Well, I just look. Derrick Henry is the king, man. I trade for him anyway, but I think with the season Nick Chubb is having, I think you could probably get Derrick Henry and like a flex receiver or something.
Yeah, I think you keep Chubb here. Like, I know Henry's Henry, but Chubb's having a better season.
He's Henry's struggling a lot because there's no one outside who can help him. Like there's no deep threat since AJ Brown left. Like they're just able to load the box against him. He's got to try beat everyone before he can get 2 yards. So it's tough sledding for Henry owners this year.
I will say Henry has a very nice schedule coming up. He has Green Bay, who are 20th against the run. Cincinnati's hard, 9th. But then it's Philly, who's gone back to 18 for those linebackers. Jacksonville, 22. The Chargers, 30th. Houston, 32nd. But then week 17 is Dallas, who are 5th best against the run. So Derrick Henry might be the best shout here, just purely off schedule, but that's picking your own poison sort of job, I think.
Yeah, like look, I love Henry, and I'd take Henry if he was offered to me, but Nick Chubb is what the stats say. Henry is what the matchups say.
Vikings defense or Cardinals defense? First part of this question.
Are the Cardinals defense ass?
No, Cardinals defense is quite good.
Are they? Weren't they like terrible like 3 weeks ago?
Fantasy wise, they've been quite good. I think I'm pretty sure they're like, again, where are they?
They're playing San Francisco anyway, so Vikings are getting lots of turnovers as well. Though I might roll with the Vikings and just see can I get interceptions and sacks off Dak maybe.
Yeah, and like the Vikings division as well, don't they have to play Green Bay? They have to play Detroit again, don't they? And do they play the Bears as well again? Yeah. So like they're not exactly playing overpowered teams coming into the run at the end there. Probably keep the Vikings.
Then Burrow or Fields.
Oh God!
Here we go again.
Well, at this moment in time, yes, Fields. Okay, yeah, I was probably Fields. Oh my God! No, Jamar Chase is the only reason I'm saying Fields.
Yeah, you have to go Fields.
Yeah, it's Fields. Fields can score like an extra 15 points in most quarterbacks week. And
it's Fields all day.
And we were George Pickens. Are we thinking about George Pickens this week? He's looking okay with Kenny.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. How long do
You
you
can-
think it is there?
Yeah, you can flex him.
I haven't really been watching Deontay Johnson much this year. Like I see a beautiful catch every now and then, but it looks like it's been very mediocre altogether. Like
That's probably fair enough, I'd say. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
this week at an 8-point week for Deontay Johnson was actually a big week for him. Like most weeks, he's been 5 and 6s. 8 was unheard of.
Yeah, but the receiver situation there, the Steelers is not good anyway, and they didn't have the quarterbacks to be working off anyway. I think they're a lot better at Pickett, but saying they're a lot better at Pickett still means they're just about average.
Yeah.
You know, like I think the only one you want there for the upside is Pickens, and that's only because he's young. And you can kind of hold on to him for a while. Other than that, don't think you're going anywhere near it.
is Romeo Dobbs droppable? Yes, he is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been dropped already. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the tight end in this game, Fryermuth, like if you're on the carousel, can't.
Yep.
Not bad. Like Kansas City at the Chargers. Is it like the main question mark here is, do you go with Justin Herbert because they have to keep up with Kansas City, but he has no weapons. Like just there's nothing there.
Yeah, Eckler is about the only thing. Maybe Everett are the only two I'm probably looking at from the Chargers. And even Everett, I don't really want to play him.
Yeah, you need to see on the injury as well. Like he's still day to day.
Yeah, like Eckler would be the only guy for me there on the Chargers side of the ball at this moment in time. Because like they could tell me Keenan Allen is playing all week, but until I see him on the field, I don't believe he's actually playing this week.
Yeah.
And then do you want to go to the Kansas City side there first? Jamie, the running backs are just
The running backs are a joke. And we said this like I don't care how many weeks ago we said this, but we said this a long time ago. How bad Edwards Hilaire is, and he is just tanked. He's done the thing.
Yeah.
He's done the thing. He's done the thing that Shane talked about with Derek Carr. He's a goose egg. He's nearly droppable at this point. You're not putting anyone there in the running backs to Kansas. It's just a joke at this point. Their wide receiver situation is probably they're the same. It's just such a carousel of us wide receivers.
like
Like we said, Smith Schuster last week, and then he went out. Now he's concussed, so he's probably going to miss this week, I presume.
yeah.
So I say if you want to play anyway, you probably play Tony. Because Tony was Tony. Tony.
Oh, I must like that to get that drop for next week.
I only watched that a few weeks ago. It's such a good film.
Oh, Travis Kelce is just in your lineup. Then there's no real question there, is there?
And if you're Jamie, you're playing Cameron Dicker the weekend as well.
Oh, San Francisco at Arizona.
Just play anyone who plays for the 49ers.
We're all going to get 2 points anyway.
Yeah. Like, look, I think Ayuk is a better option than Debo at the minute. Ayuk has been a hell of a lot more consistent than him. I know he's had the injury and everything. Christian McCaffrey is an auto start. George Kittle, he's doing Kittle things again. Maybe not this week, but he was before the bye. So, like, you're probably playing Kittle anyway. So, like, the 49ers side, the only one a big question mark over him is Debo. Can he go back to being that 20-point-a-week superstar for you again? I think I have my doubts. I'd say he'd probably need another week or two, maybe. Jimmy G doesn't give him the same kind of options either, does it? That Trey Lance, we all thought he was going to get off Trey Lance at the start of the year.
I think you don't really have an option is the problem. Like you have to play Debo. You have to swing for the fences, don't you?
Yeah, if you traded him way to an idiot anyway, you got lucky.
I can't wait, right? Right. My bold prediction, right, is this week it's going to be the two fucking Samuels, and they're the fucking game of their fucking lives. I'm just going to pick up Kurt Samuel too, just for the crack, and flex him
You
as well.
can't. He's on someone's roster.
What did I want to trade for him? Okay.
Yeah, not that it matters really. You're already out of the playoffs. So
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I
I'll
was
give you
having a
the
good time.
Samuels combined for 35 points. I think that's bold enough for me.
What, Debo, 35?
No, Debo and Curtis combined for 35.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah, Curtis would probably only get about 5 anyway, so Debo for 30 is what you're saying. Yeah, that's fair. I think 35 is fair.
Tune
Kyler
into the
plays-
Twitter page on Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tyler plays if he's playing, you put him in your lineup. Just nothing you can really do there, is there?
No.
no.
But Kyler's not really hurting you. Like, as the rest of the team isn't hurting you. Kyler's
Well,
been fine.
D Hop hasn't been too bad since he's come back in. Been fairly good, to be fair.
Rondale's a beast.
Yeah, Rondale, man. Rondale should have been like when he came back in off the injury, like he was a great waiver to pick up because nobody really had him. Like,
Like maybe if you're really struggling with Zach Ertz and you're in tight end hell, you can look at Trey McBride off your waivers. But I think I'd be picking him up just to leave him on the bench for a couple of weeks and see. Like,
yeah, I am the Ertz owner and I'm not doing that.
it's purely just to maybe hold him. Like,
Yeah, not happening. Just Ertz is out for the season. He'll be dumped there, back onto the waiver wire, and I'll just join the carousel of tight ends. I'm not picking up his backup. Probably get a week Will Disley when he comes back off of his bye week.
No, he was in the zeros this week. Was
No, he
William
wasn't.
Disley. William Disley was, yes.
He had a 3-point week.
Yeah.
that's all it's tight end.
You cannot say that's an average week.
Yeah, my tight end gets 3 points. I'm happy enough with that.
That'll bring us nicely to the end of the show. Please subscribe on YouTube and follow our Twitter page. Even say goodbye, fellas.
Adios, guys.